That's so much.
Okay.
And then I was Minister of Labor too. You mentioned that.
Okay.
So yeah, those are the two things I want to say. But thank you for good history.
Okay.
At the age of 22 in 1978, I went to jail standing up for the Liberian people for free speech because we spoke our minds against President Tobo's government in 1978, and 6 of us were picked up and jailed. One of them lives right across here at John Stewart. The company we said, Dusty Wolokoli, Kabawisna Sando, the late William Wilson, all of it. So, I've been standing up for free speech a long time ago. I've not been to jail for any criminal reason. I've been to jail for standing up for the Liberian people.
Okay.
Okay, Councillor Gonglo, thank for accepting our invitation. Our first question is, how is the Liberian People Party so far?
Liberian People's Party is getting stronger and stronger. It takes individuals to make a party strong. And we started the Gonglo movement, and the Gonglo movement is the actual soul of the LPP and has really revived the Liberian People's Party, and is doing well. We are going all over the country. We have offices in all of the counties. We have different auxiliary movements that are with us. And so, yeah, we are doing well.
So before Grace can cut me, how effective are these offices you talked about?
Well, from what I get, because the revival is going on, a lot of people are in auxiliary groups and gradually moving to LPP.
Okay.
In Liberia, less than 5% of this population are partisans. Many people are not partisans of political parties. They support candidates in election time, but many Liberians are not in political parties. I think church goers are more than political partisans in this country.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, straight to the issue. Recently, you organized an anti-campaign rally, and we heard that there was some disruption from other camp. How is the case so far? Have you been able to invite the police?
Well,
Have you found those people that did carry on that act?
First, let me express my gross disappointment with the government. We wrote the Minister of Justice on June 26th, that this event was going to happen on July 19th. Sufficient time, more than the 7 days prescribed by law. And there was a follow-up letter, and nothing happened. The march went well, and we marched on Broad Street, a very basic street in Monrovia, in the morning, up to we came down Johnson Street, another busy street. All went well. We got to Ashmont Street. We intended to have the speeches around the vicinity of the Providence Baptist Church. Why so? Because it's in the old Providence Baptist Church that on July 26, 1847, the Declaration of Independence was signed.
Okay.
And the key word in the Declaration that was a dream that remains unfulfilled was that we will show to the rest of humanity that black people are capable of governing themselves like other races. For those who look down upon us, that promise, and that's, Liberia, when you see our flag, there's this one star, first independent republic in Africa, that said it was going to show to the rest of humanity that black people too are capable of governing themselves like other races, have miserably failed because of greed, incompetence, and lack of love of country. And we, on this day, and that was the first anti-corruption campaign ever in this country. And so we were saying we want to rededicate ourselves to that dream, that Liberia can be a shining example. Countries like Botswana that gained independence 119 years later are far ahead of us. They are showing to Europe and other people that Africans are capable of governing themselves. They have great health system, great educational system, infrastructure developed. Everything is going fine in Botswana. How come we, who were the pace setter, were supposed to be the example, are now behind and trying to learn from them? We were saying we want to change that.
Okay.
And so, but everything went well. Other people spoke. When it was time for Councillor Gonglo to speak, then the stones started rolling. So I can see that it was deliberate.
Okay.
Because how come other people spoke and nothing happened? But it was live. People were watching it on the social media. So the action was deliberate. But there's a young lady in jail now who will be taken to court this morning. She has been charged by the police and they're going to court. We'll see how that goes. Our lawyers will go there and they'll proceed with the case. Maybe they'll, we suspect that there were people behind her. So she will have to say it.
Okay, before we go to the philosophy, I want to ask, what motivated you into vying for the presidency at this time?
Advocacy is a very easy thing. Yes, you can take risk with your life when there are government that are opposed to what you say, like when I went to jail in 1978, or when vying for journalists. I can claim that I'm the number one lawyer for journalists in this country. Even as I sit, I'm defending one radio station and I've been sued for $5 million. I provided free legal services for journalists, political activists, other human rights activists, and people who had countervailing views against what government was doing. And because of that, I went to jail in 2002. I have not changed. But the things that we advocate against don't change from one government to another. As an advocate, you saw me, I resigned from President Salih's government that many people are praising today, that it was better than today's government. But I held that government to a higher standard based on President Salih's education experience. And when I was seeing the things that I expected to happen after over 300,000 people had died in this country for bad governance, I resigned in the first term. So I said, the best thing to do, if you say you're cook, you keep changing your cooks because they don't cook good food, and you say you are a very good cook, then get in the kitchen yourself and cook.
Okay.
So I want to get in the kitchen and cook and show to people that it's easy to govern.
So now, why do you want to be president? And if you are president, what would be some of the commitment you expect to leave?
So first, governance in this country from 1847 has not been by rule of law. The people who violated law are people in government themselves. And because of that, because they don't govern by implementing the laws that were in the Constitution, the statutes, lawlessness becomes the order of the day. All of our sectors, all of our ministries are should be governed by the laws that were made by the legislature. They don't. For example, Section 10.2 of the Executive Law says that as much as practicable, the President of Liberia shall, not may, appoint at least one cabinet minister from each of the counties of Liberia. Governments after governments don't do that because they only want to appoint their friends. But the law was made by the wisdom of that law was that every county will be reflected will be represented in the administration of this country because it's the executive branch that administers their budget, that executes the law. I know that as a lawyer. I know that as a constitutional lawyer. I need to now come and govern by law. Combat corruption. A corrupt person cannot fight corruption. We used to criticize government about corruption in the 70s, in the 80s, and the 90s, and even when I left government. So I made sure that you will not find my name in any report because I live by example in government. There is nothing in government that makes you to be automatically corrupt. There's not a mosquito that bites you as long as you enter government, then you become corrupt. It is deliberate. The people who are stealing are doing it deliberately. And I work in President Amos Sawyer's office for 4 years. Some people can abuse that kind of exposure and say, oh, I'm working for the president. You give me something, I will make the president sign a letter, right? I used to write all the letter of appointment and dismissals. I was in my 30s, I was 32. And I can tell you one point. I was sent out of this country for 20 days as a presidential envoy in 1992. Sawyer sent me to see President Momo of Sierra Leone and President Conte of Guinea. They gave me 20 days per diem. 1992 was a tough time. That was during the war. $4,500 for 20 days. I spent 10 days. Luckily, I accomplished my mission and came back. I returned $2,200 $250 to the Minister of Finance. Minister Francis Capper is still living. He said, but Tiawan, or not councillor, our attorney at law. He said, but your money, we finished taking it from the treasury. And I said, no. It was men I spent down for 20 days. When I returned to my duty station, I cannot justify taking 1 cent from this money because I'm back on my duty station.
Okay.
Per diem is for lodging, is for food, is for transportation, is for incidental.
Okay.
He understood it. He took the money back, gave me receipt. The next morning, to his credit, he deposited that money in the National Bank. Central Bank was then called National Bank, and sent me the deposit slip. That is the life I lived in government up to the Bar Association. My first trip to Nigeria, they gave me $1,000. When I got there, all my expenses were taken care of, except $187 that I spent, which was not part of the trip. I came back and gave the bar $817. And so, if I live that life of ethics in government and even a bar, the last one was my trip to Lomé. The West African Court of Justice was having its 20th anniversary. The bar gave me $1,000 in envelope, sealed. When I got there, the Community Court of Justice gave me $1,200 per diem. So I didn't even open the bar when I brought it right back. They said, oh, Mr. President, what happened? I said, because when I won, I got per diem, so I'm giving it back. It is easy to do. And I think that I want to go into government related, because until we fight corruption, until we have a country of rule of law, all these hard men, the killings of people, auditors, and all these things that are now accounted for, and then social services in education, health, road construction, and now what is happening now, we want everybody in the country to be moving freely. We need to have yellow machines in all of the country to maintain the roads while government gradually paves the road. So if they don't pave the road, people will not go to southeastern Liberia. Right now, you cannot go to southeastern Liberia across Tapeta, only motorbikes for 6 months of the year. The people in that part of the country will block. It undermines our economy, it increases poverty. So we need money to do that. But as long as the money is being siphoned in the pockets of less than 1% of the population, Liberia is not going to go anywhere. And that is what the foundation I want to lay.
Okay, my question before I move over to Samira, I want to know, you say you are representing a media house at 5 million and lawsuits. Can you elaborate on that? And I would care to know the media house, please.
Well, I can say that because then you could, Truth FM and Renaissance Communication was sued by Shanayan, former Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, because they reported somebody appeared on a station like now and said something about the GSC report and LACC and how he was involved in the Japanese money and all of that. He got angry and sued them. I consider myself the best media lawyer in the country because every time they sue media houses, believe me, when I file the answer today, that case will end.
Okay.
Because I've studied media law. And so there's a case for Front Page Africa in Kodna, there are cases for Joy FM. All these people have their cases in court, but when I file my answer based on the strength of the law, my research in media law, they don't pursue the case again. So that case is going to end today.
So
Thank
what's
you.
about Spoon? So what's
Spoon?
about Spoon or what you talk about?
Spoon, they already have a very strong lawyer.
Okay.
But the CEO got to me and said, Kanlo Gonglo, we have this case. I said, do you have a lawyer? They called the lawyer's name. And I said, okay, I will talk with your lawyer and see how I can help with strategy because you already have a lawyer. And I talked with the lawyer and it involved bond and other things. And when I called the CEO back and said, you have a good lawyer, he knows what to do. We discussed the strategy and we agreed. And she said, thank you.
Okay, so we sat cleanly and listened to all of what you said. And almost all of what you spoke about are the very things being spoken by other presidential candidates. So why can't you join them, since indeed you all have similar visions of targeting corruption, creating jobs, and so on?
You know, I always say you cannot mix things that are not the same. I am different.
Okay.
A true leader is the one that is prepared to die for his country, to die for his people. The true leaders in Africa, you're talking about African soldiers. That's Kwame Nkrumah, that's Nelson Mandela, the Kenneth Kaunda, all these leaders, Mugabe, who stood up, were prepared to die for their people because they believe in their cause. There's no one in this race who has risked his life or comfort or opportunity. None. Not one. I am a risk taker for people. I resigned from government. How many of them have ever resigned for any opportunity? How many of them are not? I'm talking about Talbot government that was a better government than now, and still we took risk. I was the first person in my mother family from Bonkande, in my father family from Nimba, to go to college. And even with that, I took the risk of speaking against the government of Liberia for the sake of the good of Liberia. I didn't hit Talbot. I think he was a better leader than all the leaders who succeeded him. None of these people who are running now, except for George Weah, who was a minor during the Talbot time, Boakai Cummings made no comment about Talbot government. Boakai Cummings and George Weah became an adult daughter, made no comment about the repression that was going on. They were not prepared to take risks or lose opportunities. None of them lifted a finger or said a word on a Charles Taylor when Noah Flomo and all these people were being killed. They sat here in their comfort. We spoke out. In fact, I represented a widow couple who may be listening to me now from the Liberian Women Initiative that I was lawyer for. I escorted her to the police station when Joe Tate invited her because she said Noah Flomo was killed by the government. These people kept quiet. We spoke out. None of them. And that's the question I was asked during the debate. If any of you show me what sacrifice you made for Liberia, I will drop out of the race. They have not made sacrifice. You take risk. You take the heat for your people. That's why that leader in Ukraine, I'm not talking about the politics, but the fact that America went to him and said, we are prepared to give you lift. Zelensky, the British, he said, no, I'm not looking for lift. I'm prepared to die for my country. I want to stand up to defend the sovereignty of my country. That is what leadership requires. It's not my friend, because I'm a few months older than him, and I can call him my junior brother Cummings. He retired from Coca-Cola. It's a presidency and retirement job. Boakai served in the government of President Sirleaf comfortably for 12 years. Today he wants to distance himself, but that's not fair to the Liberian people. You cannot say, oh, when they say President Sirleaf built road to the Guinea border, say, yeah, I was part of that one. She built road to Grandpa, say, yeah, I was part of that one. There was corruption and knockout. No, that one, no, I was not part of it. You cannot cherry pick. Okay. Honestly, you can say, we did our best, but our best was not good enough. I want to go on to improve. I am not in their class of being of taking a comfortable role and avoiding risk. I'm a risk taker for the people of Liberia.
But then I think he said that when he came up and made a statement where he said they squandered the opportunity of Liberians.
Even that. Then, but his boss, the president of Liberia, said, I don't know what bird corruption was before President Sirleaf got to power. But she said, under her regime, that's English now, corruption became a vampire. Not that corruption was a vampire. So, under Ellen Boakai regime, corruption, let me call one bird name, a hawk. In Liberia, they call it chicken roll. Corruption was just chicken roll, catching chicken. But under her regime, corruption became a vampire, sucking the blood of the Liberian people. And he remained in that government. Nobody put gun to his head. I resigned as minister in the 5th year of that government. What? Okay, let's give him the benefit of the doubt that he was packed. It was a packed car
in the garage.
in the first 6 years. He did not want to destabilize the government. But when President Seli wanted to drag me and carry a younger president as vice president, he was interviewed by Tom Kamara in the New Democrat. He said, he fought back. I'm not a liability on Unity Party. I came here with a force and no one will remove me. So he fought to remain packed. Okay. He campaigned to be packed. So the second 6 years, nobody packing. He packed himself.
Oh, Councillor, can you tell us about your broom theory a little bit?
This broom represents two things. You know, when you take one string and a broom, it's easy to break. Together, it's hard to break. It represents unity. Unity for a good purpose. I want Liberians to unite to fight lawlessness and corruption in this country.
So you will use the broom?
We will sweep corruption by the government of Liberia. By first sweeping George Weah and his bunch of rogues from power, then we start cleaning up government.
Okay. So why do you think Liberians trust you? Gonkolo and not maybe former Vice President Joseph Waka or Mr. Alexander Cummings?
Because of my track record. The Liberian people in all of our languages, they got this good parable. If you say you can plant new man, show the old one. I have been an advocate standing up for them. I've been a poor man lawyer. Look, I've gone to 330 towns now in Liberia. Outside the mirror, I'm not talking about Banga and Ganta and Sanikoli. In the butches. I have even been to George Weah mother town that he had never been to. I've challenged him many times. I'm challenging him on the radio again. President George Weah, please go to Pakoi town, which is 35 minutes by boat ride from Sesto City if you go in a motorized canoe, or 4 hours if you go in a pedal canoe. I went there. The people say, "Why made you brave to come here? This big Sesto River, no superintendent I come here, no lawmaker I come here, even our commissioner I come here because they say they need you in this river." My answer was swift. I said, "Oh man, I want to be president of all Liberians, the one that live in Mon River, the one that live in Sesto City, and the one that live across the river in Pakoi town. And there's no risk too big for me to take for Liberia."
Okay.
And so that's what I'm doing, you know, for Liberia, and nobody has done that. You know, I've gone all over the country. I've been to George Weah's father's town, Sass town, and I was speaking or clapping. All right.
Okay, so you have vast knowledge about our justice system. I want you to weigh in on the anti-drug law that was recently approved by the president. How important is that law towards the fight against drugs, and what can we do as a patriotic Liberians to support the cause?
All Liberians should support all the laws that are made by the legislature, provided the people in government have the willingness to implement the laws, to enforce the laws. I've been Solicitor General. I talked to DA officers. I said, why people, you know, allowing all kind of bad drugs to come in the country? They tell me, Councillor, the drugs are not coming through illicit means. They are coming through the ports, authorized ports. They are coming through the land borders. They are coming through the air borders, the robbers' fee. They say we have the capacity to stop drugs from coming. But when our bosses call us, what do? We have to deal with the supply side. Until this government is changed, I don't care. We can make the law, we can say they will execute people. Drugs will still come here. Because those who should prevent drugs are the ones that are part of bringing drugs in this country.
Okay, Councillor, looking at the level of work you've done at the Liberia Bar Association and vying for presidency, now at this difficult movement, encouraging people to go in the streets to protest against corruption. Looking at our mindset when it comes to civilization and the civil war we had, don't you think that putting people in the street can cause chaos like what happened the last time?
No, I'm not like those people can put people in the street and remain behind. I was ahead.
Okay.
That's what they call leadership. I told you I'm a risk taker. I was ahead. So if they were going to be, in fact, they ragged it through. The only thing is, again, God, I pray to God every day. They have called me to speak, and I said, let the socially challenged youth They call them Zogos who sing my anti-corruption song. Let them sing one. And as soon as they got through, I was about to read my speech, and I saw the stone coming straight over my head. I dodged and hit the board behind me and bolted. So, if I was reading my speech, it would have hit me straight on the head.
Sure.
I probably would have been dead. But that's God, and it doesn't discourage me. The march went peacefully. Everybody in the street was happy. The sellers, they say, yo, because of corruption, there are more sellers than buyers. Nobody can buy from us, sir. No money in the country now, sir. I talked to the people in the street, they say, we so poor that Kobo now, that joint venture we can do. 4 person join together to buy 1 Kobo, because the price of Kobo now is $400. Then they said to me something further. They say, and I Sepe we can do. we do joint venture, then we do Sepe. In the evening, we won't find the Kobo money, we lay. So after we do that, 2-3 days, so then the Kobo seller can be out of the market. Poverty in this country is so extreme. That's why I'm surprised that people weren't talking about thank you to this government. Thank you for what? Yesterday, barrel medicine. No car can go to Freetown now because right after Rex, the road open. How do you carry iron ore in truck on a road that was not made for iron ore? Iron ore have been carried in this country by trains. And when you see the iron ore bridge, for example, right at St. Paul River, is stronger than the bridge that carry the car. They have irons on it. If you don't know, nobody can go to bombing, get mine and Seluna by road because the road is cut off. They brought iron ore trucks on it. That barrel medicine has made one section of the whole country now not reachable by car.
Okay, Honorable, I want to ask a question. There are a lot of politicians, before ascending to presidency, they will make promises. They will have trademark, but when it gets to power, everything around it changes. Are you going to be like that?
I'm not going to be like that. Why? Because I say, when the old man, I went to Justice Ministry, I'm a transformer. I don't work anywhere without changing things. Because you see, I'm loyal to 2 C's, my country and my conscience. My conscience be telling me, you don't want to say people can't bring you to you. What are you doing? I got to Justice Ministry. I used to criticize prosecution because I like to talk Sanomo, that's not a bad thing, but I free Sanomo from the underground jail that used to be at Justice Ministry, that used to jail people. On the day I got there as Solicitor General, I closed that jail. I said justice cannot be anchored on injustice. I closed it and put office there. That's change number 1. Then I found out that all the county attorneys in the whole country were not law school graduates. Some are not even high school graduates. In 2 years, I changed all of the county attorneys. I was not cabinet minister. I told the Minister of Justice, she said, the people can be complaining no money. I said, please carry me there. I went and addressed the cabinet. I told the president that only justice can sustain the peace. And so until we have capable justice actors, we will not have rule of law in this country. Peace will not be sustained. She agreed with me. We changed all of the county attorneys to only law school graduates. That change is still there today. Okay. We were having too many rape cases. I said, but rape cases are with murder and other cases, theft and all that. Let's create a special bureau for prosecution. I created it was based on my 2007 recommendation to government that the special prosecution unit for SGBV cases was created. I went to Labor Ministry. I found out that the jobs that librarians should have were being done by Indian, Lebanese, other people. I call all the employers. You all employ librarians. They say librarians can steal, they are lazy. I'm sorry. I met with my staff. We increased the work permit fee from 400 US out to 1,000 US out. Once we did it, some employers who had 60 persons in an employer who were non-librarian reduced it to 20. They gave the order for the job to librarians. Librarians started getting jobs. Okay. So I know about transformation. Anything I say is something I thought about and found solution. For example, I say every child will go to school from kindergarten to 12th on government without their parents paying 1 cent. You know, their copy books, their books, their pencils and pen will be provided by government. We don't want any child to be left behind. Education is the foundation for development of any country. Mm-hmm. When I say pregnant women, children under the age of 5, all old people from 65 years old will go to every government hospital and clinic free of charge. And I say, under my administration, government hospital and clinic will be the best. Not like JFK today, where when you go, they say, go to across to Lucky Pharmacy. If JFK does not have medicine, that the clinic in Buckhead, Lofa County will have medicine, or the one in Maryland. So I said, as president, I'll pay surprise visits to government medical institutions for myself. I go there and say, I want medical checkup. Oh, Mr. President, when you get it, when you get on, I say, who's the head? You are fired. You are turned over to the police for investigation. Once we get about 10 of them in jail, then not even paracetamol will disappear from any government clinic.
Okay. So among the many things you highlighted, in 90 days, for example, as president, what would be your priority and why?
First thing, rule of law. That the big government official make undermining rule of law in this country. Like you, beautiful girl, like you to grab your card now, the police won't give you a ticket, you call big man, you call the police. Now my interest there, and look, you touch that guy, you'll be fired. So rule of law breaks down right there. I say in the first 90 days, I will issue an executive order, 2 executive orders, one for law enforcement, all law enforcement, police, DEA, immigration, fire service, all of them, that if any official of my government interferes, obstructs, or undermines in any way law enforcement, you are fired. And I'm a lawyer, so you are not only fired, you fire and turn over to justice for prosecution for obstruction of government function. And then we'll do another executive order to protect the integrity of the judiciary, the independence of the judiciary. The people make magistrates and all the people, they don't do their job. The person is supposed to go to jail. The other case is supposed to be this way. They get calls and they actually tell you, Counselor, I getting call, I can't do this. Anybody who does that will be dismissed from a government. And the most powerful people in the government of Liberia are the people who work in the executive, because they control power, coercive power, and they control money. They can influence and undermine the function of government. We issue the executive orders. We will issue an executive order to stop the exportation of logs in this country. Ivory Coast doesn't do that. Many countries don't do that anymore. We want to create jobs. We want to, and I will issue an executive order that nobody in 90 days, in fact, in the first 30 days, no minister or head of any agency in the government will buy imported furniture, so that our carpenters can get jobs and employ people, so that more people can be carpenters. We have the largest forest in the whole of West Africa. We have 43% of the remaining tropical forest in West Africa. Listen to me, we got more forest than Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Ivory Coast combined, Guinea, all combined. There's millions of dollars there. So if we start making furniture here, and government is the biggest purchaser, and buying only Liberian made furniture, we will create jobs in the carpentry area.
Okay,
there are other things we'll do.
So let's say thanks to you for again accepting our invite and being here to deliberate on all of what you are talking about this morning. But as an honest person, I would like to want to hear from you as it relates to what can you point to when it comes to what is a good initiative that this government has undertaken that you can speak to?
Number one. The one is in 2018, I've said that many times, the Kamara law,
Okay.
that opens up the space for free speech, free press. I drafted that law as Solicitor General in 2009. I told President Saleh, it's not enough that you're not putting people in jail for free speech, but we should have a law so that presidents after you do not put people in jail. So I drafted a law to repeal sedition, criminal malevolence, and criminal libel against the president. But she did not have the courage to put it before the legislature, and she had the courage to put concession agreements and other things before the legislature.
Okay.
I gave credit to George Weah for putting that in the first few months of his government, putting his presidential weight behind it, when there were new legislature who are now violated the law for the young people to speak against them on the community radio, and they passed it. I believe that he had not sent that law in 2018, and he was saying here now, nobody is going to pass it because the senator and representatives have now done all kind of things, and people are speaking about them. They were not going to pass it. He himself was not even going to submit it now because we are speaking against him now. So that the one thing he did, because open society is important, it's a necessity for democracy because people have to disagree. For example, I can say now that one of the ways that there's abuse in government, misallocation of resource, and I consider that corruption. The president pro tem of the Liberian Senate last year, even though they hide their salaries, last year he made $254,000 as annual salary, United States dollar, which means their harmonization did not affect their salaries. Then listen to this: the president pro tem of the United States Senate last year made a total salary of $193,000. Any thinking man, how come the president pro tem of one of the 10 poorest countries in the world made higher salary than the president pro tem of the richest country in the world? This is wickedness, because if the American citizens all get to know that the Liberian president pro tem made a higher salary than their president pro tem, they will tell the United States Congress, don't send $1 to Liberia again for the health program, for the educational program, and for other social services, because it is not that Liberia has money, but they are misallocating their money.
Oh, okay. So you have to go, but let me ask this question: did you sign did you sign the Farmington Agreement? And if so, that is to maintain peace. And if so, it also talks about the inclusion of women in this election. How many, can you tell us, females you have on your party ticket?
You know, the Unity Party sadly undermined our efforts because earlier on, a supporter of Joe Barker, Eugene Fagon, on the Spoon TV that is watched by most Liberians, said LPP is not going to make it because LPP is in violation of the 2% law. He didn't do research enough to say that law said if you have less than 2% of the total votes in a past election and you do not have a sitting lawmaker, then you'll be suspended from participating in the next two elections. LPP has a sitting lawmaker that was elected in 2017. But when he said that to the public, a lot of people became nervous, and we had a lot of women on board to come. We will have covered more than 30%, but a lot of women walk away from us because they were not sure that LPP will qualify for this election. So sadly, while they talk about opposition unity, they grossly undermine us. Now, so we have only 7 women. We could have had more.
Okay, so I think we have to give you the time to interact with the public who's listening to us. And so before we go, in terms of maintaining the peace of the country.
Oh, let me talk about the Farmington.
Okay.
Thank you. The election should be violence-free. I have been a spokesperson and advocate for peace, you know, and you cannot promote peace by engaging in violence. No amount of violence is better than the other violence. Violence is bad.
Sure.
So I'm calling upon members of LPP and those who support me individually, the silent majority that support me, and people in the different auxiliary groups, not to support me by engaging in violence.
Okay.
In fact, one day on Kerry Street at the attire shop, I saw a Unity Party person and a CDC person insulting each other. They were coming to fight each other. And I stopped there. I said, in democracy, disagreement is central to democracy. You will disagree about how you want the country to go, but it should not bring you to fighting each other. I said, I can prove to you. In fact, let me give you an example. I said, leadership by example. I called Moba Molu. I said, Moba Molu, my former client, because I used to represent all the CDC people when they used to go to jail, Kalasco, Jefferson Koji, all of them. So I called Moba Molu. I said, I want you to come here in the next 10 minutes. He said, where are you? I said, my former client. He said, no, I'm not your former client. We know you are a brave lawyer. Maybe something will happen when the government does something to me that you will come to. I said, so come to me now. He said, in 30 minutes, I'll be there. I'm at the party headquarters. Sure enough, he came there in 30 minutes on Kiwi Street. And the two young men were there. In fact, there was a CDC president sitting behind me where he said that Moba Molu will come here and pick you. I can't stop her. He came there, and to his credit, I want to thank him for doing that. He came there, and then before the two gentlemen, I said, this is the chairman of the ruling party. I am one of the opposition leaders that is fighting hard to remove his government from power. You see us sitting side by side. And I said, Moba, tell these people that politics is not about enmity. Opposition is different from being someone's enemy. These two young men want to fight right now. Talk to them. And Moba Molu talked to them and said, this man is in opposition, but I respect him. I would disagree with him, but it will not come down to insulting each other. So that was a very good example for them that day. In fact, when we were leaving, he told $100 US and said, gentlemen, you're retired. And all of them took it. And so that's leadership by example. He showed it, I showed it on that day. We should have peace, because all we're talking about is for Liberia, not for ourselves.
Okay, Councillor, thank you very much. We will shortly now go to our Facebook page and encourage all those following to kindly drop your comments to interact with this interpretive paper of ours. Also call us and you will be a part of this program this morning. So we'll shortly announce the number for you to be a part.
Call us on 0770907907, 0880907907, and interact with the councillor. Say
Gongo.
Oh, okay. I thought not to forget to call that name. Okay, so I think we have the first person on the line. Let's hear you this morning. Good morning. Good morning. You are live.
Yes, my name is Brahma William, and I join from my District 13 Tupu Village resident.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me say thank you to Honorable Kanglo. I listened to him relentlessly, for what all he said. Honorable, you spoke on the issue of, free tuition in this country, and you spoke on the issue of health, and you spoke on the, on your advocacy as a lawyer from day one and today. Maybe after President we are secretary, some of us are seditious. Maybe we can turn our car to your, to your direction. But for now, we will still remain with President we are. And then I have a question for you. If this election is going to run up, maybe you drive in the first round, in the second round, like between President we are and anyone else, who you think you will pledge your support to?
Okay. Thank you. Next person. Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
You are live.
My name is Don Patino Asha Boson, and I do call to join this conversation from Congo community, particularly RC Lawson. I want to say good morning to Honorable Councillor Tiawase Gonglo. He's my father, and I want to say good morning to you journalists in the studio too. I just want to say thank you to Councillor Gonglo for his splendid elaboration this morning on several other issues, especially a 90 days deliverable when we shall have elected him as president of this country. Until this country can have respect for rule of law, every other thing that we tend to do will be falling on a deaf ears. And Councillor, you did extremely well by calling on the chairman of the CDC government at that time so that you can set that example of leadership. And we want to say this to the public. And you see, like what Councillor has just said this morning, those of us that are supporting their political activists and our candidates for the presidency and that of the representative base, we should not be very bitter with people and be able to, come into physical fight of brutality with one another because we are supporting this person or that person. It is the issues that we should be discussing instead of attacking personalities. You see, the councillor has said we disagree to agree with issues because this is a democratic society. So I want to say thank you to the councillor for splendidly elaborating on those issues.
Next person, let's hear you. Good morning. Okay, we lost that person. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to the studio guests. Good morning to the Manila pluralists and calling the program. My name is Robert, political Slata Abraham Morgan, and two this morning from the UV headquarters of Station number 3, Bolsonaro County, the Marijuana of Christians, a fast step administration of the UV CDC. Let me appreciate the studio guests. You know, Honorable Congo is a learner counselor, but at this point, Honorable Congo, Congo says super corruption, hospital super corruption. Honorable Congo was sitting as a little general, Republic Liberia, and served as a little general, Republic Liberia, when Seti Kamau was killed. He did not stay in the face of Monaseri to seek justice for that little child. Honorable Congo served as labor minister when Lebanese, Fulanese, people of different nationalities were marginalizing our people with fire stream and other companies that were there marginalizing our people. And they didn't see corruption, they didn't fight for the people. And the Congo was running and dining in a regime that was constant corrupt in the sentiment of the Liberian people. And the Congo never accept corruption. But the Congo was here when local court bent rock, but they were working in a regime, never stood in the face of Monaseri to say the government is corrupt and says local wicked. I will take especially myself, but because today Honorable Congo does not see himself as that person, he just react for harassing class, so he can't get a cross he want to see. But let me tell you, Honorable Congo, the people are calling for the same reality.
Thank you. Let's have this next person. Good morning.
Hello?
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
You are live.
Thank you so much. My name is Ellis Bolly, and I'm calling from the grounds of the capital building. Thank you so much, Councillor Gonglo. I appreciate your level of politics. It's more of objectives, and you have always spoken about peace and reconciliation. I'd like to speak to the issue of Councillor Gonglo saying that Ambassador Kashu had left. He didn't voice out any issue of bad practices with the Unity Party government. I think the entire sum of his discontentment can be summarized in a statement that we should honor some of the opportunities. And some of the opportunities that was unaware, for example, our peace and reconciliation was not handled properly by those that were put in the reconciliation area. Ambassador George Weah was praised in reconciliation ambassador. Unfortunately, that would not achieve much in that because Ambassador Weah did not work. He did not work to bring peace during the time of relief. That was squandering some of the opportunities. If we did not improve our justice system on the Manaseri properly to an extent that was appreciable, that was squandering some of the opportunities. So I think I want to ask Councillor Congo, what's your last statement was an honest statement, given the fact that if you grade the entire government, that statement of honest work from honest person, and what I think of a good leader is being honest.
Okay.
Don't you think that statement was honest?
Okay. The next person. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
You are live.
Thank you so kindly. Let me say good morning to Councillor Congo and in extension, good morning to the people of Liberia. This is activist Michael Renner, and I will join you this morning from Seal, the biggest in the Lagos Center. Honestly, I am one of the religious followers of Dewan Congo, and as such, all of his legacies mean well for this country. If Liberians and Liberia will look through the direction of Dewan Congo and others, I can simply say to you that in fact this country will be revamped. Vast majority of the people that is circulating around different political parties, this may have served them in the force voluntarily, including the Kogi, the Malu, and you can meet them. But mind you, they want to show the light in the Congo path because they will come with a slogan that in fact you don't have money. What I can say to you, Councillor Congo, is that step fast, Liberia will get better. And hope that in fact you will be among those who will make the country better.
Okay, thank you.
For the opportunity after this fucking runner.
Thank you ever so much. Let's have this next person, and then we go to the councillor. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to the call for Central Town. Thank you for your good topic and that the other way the country will be developed is to get people who are track record, who are proving record, who are being tried and tested and proving to do the work. And there's no other person can recognize the one. Because all the public surveys for 1978 and now, they are proving to us. We are young people that, he's a electrified leader, he's a leader with proven record who will start from day one as a president, he will do the job. They will try to recycle these politicians. Every time people call on the radio, say that, our job we are, when job we are still here finished. Oh, job we are still here finished, but your children are not going to school. Job we are still here finished, but you yourself, for you to find food to eat in that house. So you will wait for another 6 years for your children to be hungry, for your children not to attend good school until you can for the 6 years to pass, so that you can get vote for Councilor. I can say this for a fact. Councilor has too many secret admirers. There are people who are working in the government. Last time I went to foreign minister.
Okay, we read it on half time.
Hello.
Yeah, we read it on half time, so please be quick.
Yeah, I went to foreign minister. I letter in my hand. As soon as he comes to Google me on it, more than 6 person came around and said, okay, there. So I can tell you, Papa, you are the main contender in the race. You are somebody who people looking up to because you are the work of doing the right thing. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you ever so much for participating as well. We will now like to go over to Samira, who will read the question we have there.
Okay,
the can respond.
Not too many questions, but then the first person said if there will be one round and going to the second round, who will you support in the election if you happen to lose within the first round?
Oh yeah, so let me deal with that question because somebody asked that and then it came on the line. My answer, let me say every question I was asked have been asked many times.
Okay.
Whether it's on Fish Town Radio or Bleedmore Radio or the radio in Foya, these same questions have been asked. My answers are well. On this question I've said, when we reach a bridge, we'll cross it. Because you see, election, some people can make very silly statement just 2 days before election. Suppose one of the candidates, I say, I will support candidate X, and 2 days before election, he say, look, women can support things in the country, in my government, no more work. I will not support you.
Okay.
Then I start explaining. I said, but I thought you said you were going to support the man. I said, then I start giving reason. So when we reach the bridge, we will cross it.
All right.
Then somebody asked a question about what did you do about Shehu Kamara justice. Again, you talk about lying about small things. I was not in government. Shehu Kamara thing that I was doing Ebola. I had left government 2010.
Okay.
Ebola happened long time after 2010. So I was not there. Let me say, the guy, you also talk about fires to workers and all that. The labor law that is used today that is called decent work, that has provision for 90 days maternity leave for women, 5 days paternity leave for men, and a lot of other good things that were not there before. As a labor lawyer, we put a lot of things that I completed our decent work. It was the first labor law in the world based on decent work, the decent work doctrine of the ILO. I presented it to the president before I left government. I just said to this man that I made a lot of Liberians to get employed with regulation number 17 that this government is still using today. In fact, the last time the Minister of Labor and myself spoke, he said, thank you for the regulation. It's helping the government a lot. Then I supervised the collective bargaining agreement before I left with Firestone. And we put in our agreement that Firestone will change the mode of carrying latex. The people carry the thing on liver. You do that in 25 years or more. When you leave from there, you're almost like a crippled person.
Sure.
I said, people have to find other means. In Malaysia and other places, they have different means, not bargain. But before the collective bargaining started, I had left government, and I was outside government. Nobody, not even the end of the labor union, will say anything negative about me. You never call any no labor union can say what kind of over there. We labor union took out matter and didn't listen. But people outside who, again, President, who didn't know, speak about these things. The people in the industry don't speak, in the labor sector don't speak about it. I always say, our people say, when catfish come from in the water and talk about alligator, you have to believe it. But black day, I can't talk about alligator in the water because it's up there. So what President Thomas summarized is that there were 3 enemies of Liberia: poverty, ignorance, and disease. And he concluded by saying, of the 3 enemies, the worst enemy of Liberia is ignorance. People can use ignorance to even cause violence to incite people. People can use ignorance to say things about people that they don't know. So I would say, like Jesus Christ said on the cross, Lord, forgive them, for they know not what they are doing. We have an obligation to keep educating. Many of the young people were born in the 80s and the 90s, some of them in the late 70s. Yes, Liberia was not as good as we expected, but under President Tobo, there was a semblance of good governance. And we saw it because we were adults.
Okay.
Man, and one of the reasons I want to come to power is to take the good things of President Tobo, like his economic policy of import substitution and export promotion, lifting people from mat to mattresses, and investing so much in agriculture and all of that, are the things I want to bring. So when I talk about mechanized farming to produce more rice so the price of rice can drop and for rice to be available all over Liberia, that is based on the concept that came from Arnold Talbot. So, but many young people don't know, and we who were critical of government that day, those times took the best part. I don't know whether there was another question.
There's another question from the live video. It says, the councillor kept saying he resigned from the Salif government. My question to him, and my understanding is, President at that time dissolved her cabinets and asked them to reapply, and the councillor decided not to reapply. Is that a resignation or dismissal?
Good question. There was the president did not say people should reapply. She did not dismiss her cabinet. She sent the cabinet on 2 weeks leave, compulsory leave, and said, if I don't call you back, then you are no more in my government. She called me back, and I said, no, I'm not coming.
Okay.
I'm leaving your government. So I was not dismissed.
Okay.
I made a decision to leave. When you make a decision to leave government, that's resignation.
Okay.
So let me make that clear today.
Okay.
Okay.
So before we leave you,
There was another question.
I
Anyway.
think the caller was not too clear. He said, Bwaka should have left about Bwaka that you're
Oh yeah. He said.
Yes.
He said. Okay. Don't you think Barker was honest?
yeah,
Yeah,
that is,
Yeah.
that's what he said.
Fine. The president said he was honest that the government made corruption a vampire. She was honest when she said her government did not reconcile this country. She was honest when she said she does not easily forgive. That's her weakness. Barker, oh yes, you were honest when you said they squander opportunities, and he was a parked car. And I said the first 6 years he was parked, the second 6 years he parked himself. You were honest about that. But when you are honest about it, we don't want agents of change. We want people who can do things, who will create a new Liberia. But if you squander opportunity for 12 years, why do we want you back? If you're a parked car and you allow yourself to be parked, why do we want you back? We want active persons. And some people can be old and be strong.
Okay.
Like I know one Jim Salif on the old road. James Dennis. He's 93 years old now. And he's strong. He walks to the gate when I go to visit him, because I like old people to hear old stories. He opens the gate himself. He does not walk with Ken. But I know some people are 75 and they can't walk good anymore.
Councillor, before you leave
So-
quickly, what's
so-
your view on World Crime Court?
I'm very clear. I've been one of the advocates. Yeah, I'm not one of those people who can utter a book and then at a critical time deny it or ban the book. No. I am for accountability. And let me tell you, I went to Prince Johnson's town. He's one of the presidents who is in the TRC report. And I stood in the time, y'all got my play. In fact, I got supporters and I got a whole team there supporting me. And I said, let me ask you in your government play. Me and Prince Johnson have no personal differences. I said, but let me ask you, during the war, the people who left the battlefront and came to kill people who were digging cassava, should they go free? The whole town that was there said no. I said, what's about the people who went to churches to kill people like Lutheran Church and even the mosque to kill people? Should they go free? No. What's about the people who came and killed people who were sitting on a palaver talking, just conversing and they came and killed them? They said no. I said that the people I say should be prosecuted. They say, but then we know who are you now. We agree. I said, when you go to the battlefront, when you kill 1 million people, that's not crime because you're fighting. But when you leave to come kill innocent people, should we encourage that? I say it is because we have not tried people who committed war crime that now people are engaged in harbor business, killing people from Cape Mount to Cape Amos, all over the country. People are afraid to go on their farm. We are strengthening impunity. Impunity undermines peace. We should not strengthen impunity. So my position on war crime will mean permanent, constant, has not changed.
Oh, okay. So we want to say thank you.
And the good thing is that everybody is agreeing with me now. Jeremiah Kum, who comes from MDR, Prince Johnson Party, said on Spoon FM that he supposed war crime. Prince Johnson himself went on Spoon FM and said, okay, and let the war crime come, I will go there. Joe Barker in 2017 said he does not support war crime. The only person who in 2017, the only candidate who said he supported war crime was Bernard Yuri. Cummings, Barker, all of them said they were not supporting war crime. They wanted restorative justice for people to get reconciled. Today, because they see the international community speaking, they want to be politically correct. Everybody is saying that they want war crime. So it's not a debatable issue anymore. Everybody agree now. So in our council,
Thank you very much, Councillor. It was a pleasure having you today in our studio.
This is, I will mark this day, a day, the first day I was interviewed by social women in studio. And that man was helping them in the background.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
A better
you
day,
so much.
a better Liberia is coming
Okay.
with people like you. Thank you very much.
Thank you ever so much, kid. We've been here talking with the councillor Tiawan Se Gonglo, and he's been here telling you much about himself. And so we'd like to take a break, and when we come back, we will resume the second portion of this program. Good Morning Liberia.
By the time people open their mouth to say they want to be president, they appear. This thing around themselves. Everybody. By the time people open their mouth to say they want to be president, it appears as though they have decided that they will go against Joseph Boakai. The presidency had been reserved for Joseph Boakai and his people. What? There's not a single party that joined. Now the people say Joseph Boakai is not well. But you haven't answered to that to say it's not true. The both say Joseph Boakai is not honest. He negotiated to receive foreign money. You haven't responded to it. For some of us, for me, I believe Costa. I believe him because you have not given me any reason not to believe him. There is,
Okay. So you heard Musa Ability said there have been statements about Ambassador Joseph Boakai not being well. And since others have been saying it till now, he has not come out to tell the Liberian people as to whether he's well and strong and healthy and all of that. He also said, Henry Costa said he entered an agreement with the foreigners to support his campaign activities. Until now, he has not come up to tell the Liberian people as to whether it is true or Costa was lying. He's not said anything to some of those things that were said about him. And another thing he said is that all of the other governments are against, let's say parties, not governments, sorry. All of the other parties are one way or the other against Unity Party for something maybe they may have done or agreement they may have entered, and they've not been able to yield the benefit of why they entered the relationship and all of that. So what can we say to that? What do we make of his statement this morning? Are we here?
Yes, we're here. Chris, go ahead.
Is he fair enough to say that, or is it that we will say maybe because everybody has whatever it is that he wants to say, freedom of speech, so he's at liberty to say what he said and all of that?
So the first thing is we have been talking about this thing about Joe Boakai not responding to all of these allegations. We have been saying it over and over. And I even at a point said that he has to use his leadership skill, to be able to handle this matter.
Okay.
Because you cannot have more than one person coming to you saying things about you and you don't want to respond to it.
Okay.
One man said the same race to your people who will want to vote you during the October 10th elections. Some people might say that he's focusing on rescuing the country. But does that mean that you cannot answer to the Liberian people if allegations have been, leveled against you? You have to make things clear for the people so that they can get a clear mindset. Costa came about with his thing. He read 42 pages saying that you people had agreement in Ghana. You went for a meeting and it was told that you wanted to give up or Wologisi Mountain, all of that. We all know that Costa is not a consistent man.
Sure.
So we never really believed it. But some people believed it because some people are saying that Costa will not just jump out of the blue sky.
Said.
Yeah, he will not just jump out of the blue sky. For the fight that you people have been strong over the years, you people have been together. Costa have been with you. You people have been having in-house meetings. And some of these meetings, you people have been having. We were not there to hear the outcome. And then even Joe Bwaka's son attested to it that they went for a meeting in Ghana. But his father never put Wologisi Mountain on the scale. Why should you go for a meeting in Ghana to get money from people when the electoral law says that you should get your campaign money from Liberia? Yeah, that's one question. And now Ure came up this time with his own allegation.
Okay, yeah.
He came up saying that if you listen to the tape, he said that thank God that these people were not elected, because if they were going to be elected, they were going to be treated as dogs. It was what Ure said. And he was very angry, saying that he said that they did not leave Unity Party, but Unity Party left them.
So then one would think, what is really happening? Is it that what they are going for or what they are negotiating for along with the Unity Party, Omer Bwaka is not adhering to it, or is it that there's something about them that Omer Bwaka does not want to accept?
As for that, I cannot really say a particular thing, but what I can say about that situation is that you can be with somebody over the period of the year and you can be bearing some things with them. But at times when it reaches the point where you can no longer bear it, is when you leave. Or it's either there are some negotiations going on in-house that Bwaka don't want to agree with. And probably these negotiations, it was made years before electoral period.
Sure.
And now that they are gearing towards election, Bwaka don't want to agree with it.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it could be.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. This morning I want to look at it from a different perspective. Joseph Bwaka is an honorable man. Joseph Bwaka is an honorable man, well respected, and I think in his own wisdom, he's decided not to respond to some certain issues at this critical time. And looking at Musa Hassan Bedete, and the level of cooperation he had before when Bronsky was alive, with that of the ruling Unity Party, and when he was serving in the FIFA and all those things. Joe Bwaka, for me, the only problem I always have with politicians is not being accountable to the Liberian people. If you are a public figure, a public servant, quote-unquote ambassador, as you claimed you are, as per diplomatic law, you are answerable to the people you served and the people you represent. So all these things are allegations from Costa, UA, and all the people around Joe Bwaka. My own issue is, it's very simple. I don't think he's supposed to leave the horse's mouth open and goes to the United States at this time. It's just very simple. Even if you don't want to come to radio stations, you don't want to call press conferences, just sit in your confine, tell the Liberian people, elaborate on those allegations. Like Costa narrated a lot of stories, including the Wologisi Mountain, coming down to their arrangements and all of these things. So my issue here now is that why is it that he finding it difficult to quote unquote respond to these people? Is it that he's afraid to tell lies or what they are saying is true? And silence me a lot of concern. Like my colleague Greg said, if you are thinking now that you want to serve Liberia as a president, from where I stand, What you can start doing is answering to the Liberian people. You are well respected. Liberian people love you. They honor you. Some of them look at you as their role model. But if you don't respond to allegations, it leads to destruction. You know you want to be president. You need the people vote. And one of my colleagues, the last time she said, I don't think Joseph Boakai is answerable to Liberian people. Hello, excuse me. Joseph Boakai is answerable to all, even the babies in Liberia. So if there's a corruption allegation of him negotiating with Logisi Mountain and poor health right now, and he walking to the presidency just a few months away to election, what he should be doing is responding to these allegations and not sitting down and not doing anything. So like I said, Joseph Boakai is a respected man. He's an honorable man. Liberian people love him. He just few steps away from presidency, like he's saying he want to win. And these people are the people votes that will make him president. So even if today he don't answer the people that is below 18, few years from now they will turn 18, they will be able to vote.
Sure.
So if Costa is coming with those huge allegations, spending that you Yeke Kwaluba, all those people that were around you as an honorable man, what stands is integrity. Come back and tell Liberian people what is happening. Come with facts. Defend yourself. Like Honorable Gonglo is in studio right now. Or he's linking the tangibles that he has done for the Liberian people. That's what we want for Honorable Boakai. Just tell us that this is it. Costa is lying, and this and so I went Ghana for this and this. Oh, what is happening? So please, we are calling on the supporters of Joseph Iman Boakai to press statement from United Party is not enough.
And I think he needs to come out to say something as it relates to all of what is being said about him, because every other person from a political party that comes and sit here, they see him as a major contender in this coming election. Because even I think you heard the councillor talking about him here, and we were like asking as to whether he was not fair enough when he talked about they squandering the opportunity of Liberians at the time they had the power in their hands and all of that. And the other day we had a team from the CDC came here, and when we asked a similar question as it relates to why is it that they always refer to Joseph Boakai, he said that's because during the 2017 election, they saw him as the person who came closer to them, and so they are always like talking. So if these people are always talking and Liberians are waiting to hear as to what have been said as to whether it is true or not, then we think he needs to come out to say, well, these were things that were said, these are correct, and these are also things that were said about me, and these are now also correct, and give us the correct version as it relates to what really he did. Maybe he went for his personal arrangement with these people, and because it is a political season and others wants to maybe tarnish his reputation or to see to it that he would not get elected, so they want to come up with these statements so that those who want to support him must see the need not to support him. These are things he needs to come out to speak to, so that people know where he stands with all of what has been said about him. Like you heard what his ability said, health-wise, they say he's not okay, and since then he's not come up to say anything like Prince Johnson. Even a man who's supporting him, Prince Johnson, said he's living on battery. Till now, he has not come up to tell us as to whether he's living on battery or not. So we are left with the question: what is happening?
I keep saying, if Joseph Boakai wants to serve the Liberian people, you have to be answerable to the Liberian people. We are not begging Joseph Boakai. It is our right as a diplomat, he claiming he is, as a politician, as a servant, to answer the Liberian people questions. Prince Johnson can come out 2 days, insult you, tell you living with battery, come out to support you. You are with Nukwe. Nobody know what happened between you and Nukwe. You talk Nukwe from your end. You ain't working with Nukwe again. Nukwe not running as vice president to you. Then Costa came out with allegations. You came out with allegations. Now Yeke Kwaluba also came out with allegations. So what is wrong? When we put you there, how you will drive everybody from around you?
Everyone is like leaving him.
When people elect you tomorrow, is that how you will serve them? You will not be answerable to them. That means to even meet the press will be your issues. to even respond to things in the media will be our issues. We'll not even have access to you as a president if now you're not media friendly, you don't answer questions. You want to tell us what you want to tell us, you don't give us chance to interact with you. So that's it. If Joseph Baka can answer our questions, then I don't think he's ready to serve the
Or
Liberian
he said
people.
that he's taking counsel from those he has around him, or he have around him, maybe.
Famata, we have people dropping our comments. I don't know if I should read them.
Yeah, that's one thing we've not done. Samira only read one question from
Yeah,
my
it was
dad.
the
So
question,
if you are
yes.
there, let's just take some of the comments we have on our page there.
Okay.
Right there.
Okay, we have Stephen Johnson. He said, I'm watching live from our first TV office in Lucky Time.
Okay.
Victor Kwemini said, please put the number on the live. I don't know if our team has done that. Patrick Sa said, good morning, my team player. I'm following you guys from the premises of the Voice of Liberia on Capital Bypass, Monrovia, Liberia. Let's keep pushing for better tomorrow. Amos Maluba said, good afternoon from my end, guys. Please keep up the good work. I'm watching live from UAE.
Okay.
Stanley Bossy said, a pleasant good morning to the peace-loving citizen of Mama Liberia watching you live from the headquarters of the Professional Alliance Group to enhance the re-elections of His Excellency Dr. George Manewia. So, Samira, I don't know if you have something for your end.
I think
that's what we have.
Okay.
That's what we have. Okay, so you can keep your message coming into okay. If you are watching us live, post your message and we will have it read on the platform this morning. And for those of you listening by way of radio, we will announce the numbers so that you participate this morning. But currently we are talking about the issue of Ambassador Joseph Boakai responding to all of the allegations levied against him by political parties and also individuals he might have worked with over the year, or even those of them he's working with currently. What is enthusing him to work with them, we want to know, and as to whether there has been promises made to some of these persons he's chosen to work with. These are things we want to know from him. Will he actually tell us what we want to hear, or what?
And one thing again, like I would like to relate it to the questions Samira asked our guest this morning, Tewo, in line with loyalty and respect. You see, you are living in a house with me. If you come from like he quoted him responded, he said, I live under the water. If alligator come from under the water, tell you say maybe crawfish come from under the water and tell you alligator. You should believe it. That's the same with Joseph Boakai. People within your house, even including former President Eli Johnson Sirleaf, can even come up to say, I support you. In life, recommendations is something that keep people going.
so. What is wrong with this?
What is just wrong with Joseph Boakai?
We know that you are corruption free, yes. We know that you are a man of integrity, yes. But what have people around you that
Can I
want to
support
stand by
you?
you? Even Eli Johnson Sirleaf, you serve, you work with
For
her
12
good
years.
At the end of the day, she can even come up and say, "Oh yes, I'm going to stand
Your
with
former
this party."
bosses, your former staffers from places you work in government for 42 years.
Like I also said too, maybe some of these persons are bringing things on board that the old man does not want to accept.
So I said everybody that bringing things
So then
on
the
board.
only thing we need
Okay, what
is
you
for
get-
him,
let's start
is
it
for
one.
him, is for him to tell us, as it relates to all of what has been said about him. Come up, like you said, maybe down on the radio, at his home, right? He can call for
They
a
probably
press
left us
conference.
yes and he went, or America is going Friday.
So
So that
Samira,
he can still remain there and do something on the internet and let us know as to how what we want to hear.
We hope so. We hope
if
so.
I tell you for free, Liberian people, if we cannot access our potential president at this time when it comes to relating to issues that affect us, speculations, rumors, he cannot counterface any of them. When he become president, he will not answer to you. And we want a leader that is answerable to the Liberian people. So, Ambassador Boakai, the Liberian people need your response. Okay, from what I say, why I say that maybe there's something they requested and he's not giving. Why? I will start first with Yeke Koluba. What do you think Yeke Koluba wants from the papi?
Now, I believe
so
there's an understanding.
what,
There is an understanding, and he said the other day that he's running on the party's
It
ticket.
was where I was going.
He said he was running on.
And so he got angry
Why?
when Coons, maybe someone related to Coons, decided
Yeah,
to run in his district.
district.
So these are some agreements that they go through, I believe.
You see the whole thing here, like Samara always said, Parker has not been using his political wisdom. I would say the plain and fair. When the collaborating political party were working together, that's where all this dispute is coming from. You knew you were not ready to collaborate. You knew you were not ready to subject yourself to serve as fast to anyone, but yet you want people to subject to you because you claim to be the most experienced from the opposition side. 100% agree. Then now, why form an alliance when you know within that alliance circle you won't take someone from there to run as a vice president? Why form an alliance when you know your vice running mate is outside the circle? Then you're using other people within the circle to run up protests for you. I come here on my own analysis to
I have not said
run up, run up
protest.
protests for you, do all the dirty work, what the court represent you. You even use them to form another party called NDR. You provided candidate for that party. You see, I will not put my face there, but this is my fallback position in case United Party lost this case in court. I will come back to one on this the party that I've been in. You will talk about forgetting phone, but in his statement he talk about that party. Okay, why is it now you told them to find that party? Why is it when you are going to court you couldn't stand up as a United Party, but you went at CPP because they sue CPP? You couldn't represent yourself. You were hard to represent you. Okay, you did all of that. Yake Kwaluba with his blood and sweat were in a street. Henry Costa with his money, his sister, his family, every one of them were in a street protesting June 7. You, ambassador, you were there. You embrace these people. But the hope that this struggle is for all of politics that interest my sister. Then Takana. You want to find running May. You join us at goody out of the circle. You want to find campaign chair. Goody. Youngly to have to look at ourselves. You say, I think I have to force myself somewhere. Of course, the water party and the paper get late issue, but now I have to let go. The water party because the paper and I carry me. There are nothing.
If even Youngly, or not even if she was not strong, she was going to leave that party too.
And she may leave. Maybe the second round she may because the water party ain't behind him again.
Yeah.
Even Bronsky and sacrifice that were with him, Chu or Charlie. All those people that sacrifice for youngly and the been there, Delon and the been there. He had to separate those people because the people love themselves. But because of his political ambition, they had to separate.
And I hope you understood it from the point where you talked about the issue of politics. It has to do with interest, right?
Yeah.
So, I believe all of the other parties who are like going back, these people are also having discussions. Let us know that, because these people can come out in front of us and act as if they hate each other. Let us not forget this. They can show us or show to us that they are against each other. When they come on our platforms or when they are out there speaking, they will say worse things about each other. But in their various and individual corners, they are consulting, they are talking, they are making arrangements as it relates to why we'll go to this person. If you support me, why we'll go to the next person and all of that. So I hope we are also taking that into considerations too.
Now what I said, I stand to be corrected. You see the fact here, you as a political follower always compare NPP to that of the collaborating political party that were formed back. NPP, despite one of the big political giants, Charles Taylor is now facing war crimes. But NPP has still hold on.
Sure.
They have still hold. It's not like they don't have confusion. But Joa were able to hold her children together. George Weah hold his children together. United Party, there are too much division since Ellie left that party. I will tell you for free.
And the part about it is that
there's too much division.
If you have so much greedy people coming together, that's what will happen at the end of the day.
Then if you greedy from the start,
Sure.
I won't ask the two of you. When you greedy from the start, you're not even president yet. 12 years you were in power, you didn't want to pay your own party headquarters, you get Liberia. You're not spend on everything you get.
Chris, let me just come in.
That's my question.
Let me just come in. All of these people, most of these people, and myself, I stand to be corrected, right? These people, they are not doing this for Liberia.
Sure.
They are doing this for
It's
their
just like a
own
business-
gain.
business
They
they
are
are into.
taking Liberia to be a bushmeat where you come and you push up your own and leave from there. For your family to enjoy, relatives to enjoy. They are not seeing the good to do the good thing for Liberian people or for Liberia. They are doing it in their own interest.
Sure.
It's the reason why you see they are so selfish in a political or things.
And that's the reason why every one of them who were in that clique, that identical clique, they
Yeah.
found out now that one person does not want to agree to whatever was discussed. So
Sure.
every one of them, they are like going in their separate ways.
Yeah.
So that
Somebody have to
You will
live
see
on there.
In this little country, little Liberia that we have over 20 persons vying for presidency in Liberia. Everybody want to go up there because they feel that when they reach up there, they'll be able to get everything for themselves. It's the reason why they are
and
doing
it's
it.
possible, it's also possible that these people wanting to stand by themselves now, so that if we are to go to maybe a runoff election, then that's the time
No.
they'll put their plight up and say, okay, if I should support you, you will give me this, you will give me this,
Exactly,
you will give me
exactly.
this. So like we said, this thing is just about business, pay for play.
The fact there is, Famata, Liberia is a country that when you look at from the political landscape and I would like to squeeze in something. Just go ahead. Before I say my statement, there's some kind of audio that I won't play. Because the fact, let me forget about the audio. Maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow. Because I won't drive off on different discussion. African, the time we start loving ourselves, that is the time you will see Africa crossing from here to Kenya without visa. That's when you will see Africa leaving from here going Egypt without visa.
Or even using one currency.
Yeah, like the Europes and the American countries that intertwine with each other, they go free without visa. If our leaders can start putting our country first,
That's it.
that's the time you will see this, our country will start moving forward.
Sure.
But once we keep putting our political interests first, you talking they will support themselves after they finish confusing the people's mind in the first term. Like when people were fixed for the collaborative political party for our protest, you could see that like when people were resolved for that election
Sure.
to maybe take President Weah from there.
Sure.
But President Weah being smart, he know how to play a card. He realized his mistake, accepted a result, and started working for that very time. And you can see the achievement today. And President Weah was not deterred by that gallery. He told us openly, he said, "You did those people. They see people that gallery, they greedy, they will separate tomorrow."
Exactly.
You
And
understand?
I think at one of his birthday celebration or so, he said, I will beat them just like I beat them in 2017.
Yes.
And I think one time President Weah have to negotiate for somebody to go as standard bearer. He went as stand to be corrected vice.
Sure.
Yeah, he even left the presidency when he was contesting for Kim and went for Senate. So why are we saying that you can't be vice president and come? You can't go for vice president again. It's about the country. If you feel you want to make things great, you are experienced. What I expect the honorable man to be doing now is providing counsel because you said you've been in presidency before. Serving as counselor and consultant around here. It's not about you being the Labrador and not elephant meat, man.
But I heard
That's
people
true, but then
saying
again, it is not in the constitution as it relates to at what age you are to contest and at what age you are to
no,
You're not
no,
limited.
You don't have any fixed.
So you
age
can
to
tell us
contest
because you now go
election.
for the Labrador law, say because you are vice president, you can't go by vice president. No.
He's looking at his own wing
so
too.
that's the thing.
You don't want to bring yourself down like that because he was all car parked in the garage for
He does
12
not
years,
want to
so
be
he
parked
don't want to
again.
be parked again. So
I won't ask of Samra. You were all car park to the old lady that was holding stick.
So then young boy, yeah.
If Eddie in our Liberian people said
yeah.
why will not get money? If Eddie will not get money, then she was president. She will come to be holding stick.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
But because of the medical care she received, you were vice president to her.
young plus
You were packed.
very
Then you
young
can
man.
collect.
I can say the youngest vice
Well,
president.
Don't
That-
base it on the fact that this woman was old or what have you. Know that she was old, but her brain, like you heard the counselor say here this morning, there are some old people, they are old, but their brain is not old. So in as much as she was old, she had her own way of limiting him as it relates to what she wanted him to
Agree.
do.
I agree with
So
that.
some people can be young, then their brain be old too.
Of course.
Camille, let me finish my analysis, then you can blast it. But the fact there is that old man there control you. She pack you. Then why I say now you go collect one young boy? What are you about to do? He will kick you. all of the country.
That's why you're thinking. That's not.
I'm
why
just
he's thinking.
trying to protect him to tell you the fact that from an analysis standpoint, within the political arena that were built around Joseph Barker with the collaborating political party, he could have found a vice president from there. He could have found people from in that team that could have worked with him. That all this dispute we having today will not happen.
Oh, okay.
You know, you're not supporting Yeke Kwaluba. Then why you make Yeke be jumping on car all around protesting?
No,
around?
but
then
that's not what it was.
The man look
The party
around.
is still supporting.
Yeah.
But again, those persons he has around him, they are the ones who wants to cause problem for him.
He
So
looked
it-
around him and he did not
So
see
I
anybody
think-
for them to fight for vice president.
Okay. So
So
now
He
I
saw
want to ask
Jeremiah
you.
Kun outside, so he said a big Jeremiah Kun.
Okay, fine.
maybe he's looking for someone who's neutral from all of the other arrangements
yes.
they have listened to.
Fine, I agree. Me, I get problem.
And maybe he wanted new account too.
I get problem. But my issue here is you're talking about support
Okay.
from Yeke Kwaluba to that of his district and the person contesting against him. When you were bringing Kun over as a man of wisdom, bringing Kun over to your party, you don't tell Kun say, Kun, I get people are working well. So that your son that you talking say won't contest, you get a strong man. So tell your son. I listened to the audio very well. Kun say in chat talking to his son blind. Well, I read this. If you get control over your child, you advise your child for your political ambition. You know you're going for the big fish. Your child will listen to you. You can get everything once, and people that sacrifice for you, then they get something in return. If you can get Yeke he late district, tomorrow you become president. What thing you get
No, but I
Yeke now?
believe that has been resolved because
So,
even
like
the
you
party,
said-
the party chair came up and clarified things, right?
And like she
So
said,
that has been.
politics.
But the guy is still saying that.
You
come
listen to
what
the guy?
may- Yeah, I listen to
I
him.
listen, he said he contesting.
whatever happened, he will contest as an independent candidate.
Yeke the district now Yeke fan. Instead of the district now for Yeke now Yeke property.
Yeah, and like
So
you
the
said,
presidency that are property.
and like you said, politics is self-interest.
Come on, Grace.
Right? You talked about politics being self-interest. So who knows? Puakatu is doing it in his interest, maybe.
But that's the reason why each and all of these persons who are in the election, that's what they are into it for.
Exactly.
They are not into it for us.
No.
They are not into it to better the lives of Liberians.
They are
That's
using
not
it
what
to
they are there for.
divide us and for their self-gain.
So to those of us who during the time of campaign we will be out there insulting and fighting, causing chaos against
For these
amongst
people.
ourselves for these persons, we should just be aware that they are not in our interest, they are in their own interests. And so
And you know,
we need
if they want
to
if they want a particular position, it's where they come down to the Liberian people. But as soon as they get that position, they will forget about us till election year.
and that's the thing about us too.
Till election year.
Let's talk about us too. How long it will take us if we elect someone to a position and the person is not doing what we put them there for, to be the same persons to take
So
them
move
from
there
there.
from there.
Why are we afraid? Because just like the issue with these persons who have been sanctioned, we have not come up
Okay,
to say anything about
there's a
that yet.
Facebook comment that a person is asking me directly about why is it that Unity Party now should be questioned because this guy is going as an independent candidate. My brother, my point is very simple. The CPP, if the CPP has stand up as one, we will not be discussing what we're discussing today. If the CPP has hold together, that of the Edesana Cummins, the Yombly and Joseph Parker, all of them hold on tight, the election will not even be hard for you. But the greediness and the belly driven that we have among politicians, that where all these tussle and hustle coming from today. Yeke Kwaluba has been there from the start. How do you think it's possible that Honorable Jeremiah Kun's son will be contesting in that district and Yeke have been supporting the United Party? Now because CPP is there, United Party is there, he had to identify one because of the split. That people from the United Party will not want to support Jeremiah Kun, only because of Jeremiah Kun's son, only because of Jeremiah Kun. It's possible. My son contesting, I'm the vice chair, I get influence over United Party, I'm the vice stand-up error. I don't have to come publicly to say people won't make me happy. People will actually go and vote for my son. You understand? If the 100% clarity is there that I will become vice president tomorrow. So what I'm saying is very simple. Division can can kill your political ambition.
Sure.
The people should have fought to hold the political collaboration. Even if they are going to come here today in the first one to share vote, they should know what to tell the public, because that the same public they will come out tomorrow to tell them, say, please come and vote in favor of this person or this person. If your heart divided, can they stand? For matter. When they studio divided, can we stand? We can't stand. That's my own point of view.
Yeah, it's from the way you looked at it, it's not bad. But then, like we continue to say, we should also have an understanding that each and all of the persons vying for whichever position, all of that, these persons are not coming with Liberians at heart.
They are self-interest.
Sure. Even some of them, they might not have even visited some of those districts that they even want to represent for the past.
But yes, they're saying they're living there.
Yet they are saying they are living there. It's possible that they got one little Congo there or one little house there they've never been to, but yet because of that whom they have there, so they stand to contest to this. So these are just things that we ought to look out for and know as to who has been with us, who we can trust. If they will not help us 100%, because no government will help its citizens 100%. We ourselves also need to look for what we need to do to sustain ourselves and all of that. So we need to weigh all of them to know who has at least Liberia at heart for, with maybe 20, 40, 30%. That's a, but I tell you, no one has Liberia 100% at heart. They will tell you, I love this country, I love this country. No, I love myself.
I want to be president because I want to achieve. So for matter, just on what you said about Nana having homes in a district, there was this candidate this morning on one of the radio, the news carried him that he accusing his fellow contestant that they don't even have a home in their district, and they went to rent other people's places, take pictures and carry the neck for neck to clarify and qualify them as a candidate. This is something that from other saying that is true. That person is from Pomi County. I heard the person this morning. This is wrong. If you know you want to be a lawmaker, start working ahead of time. You want to be a president, learn to hold people together. President, you carry the weight of the whole country on your head. If you hold your political party in charge, then what about Liberia?
Okay, so let's take course, or we deal with the last talking point before.
No, we have to.
You are the moderator. What you think best for us?
No, come on. This is something we must all agree to.
You are our boss, the head of this show.
Come on. It's not about being head or being the tail. We agree here to disagree.
So we can just lay the last point and then we just open the phone lines.
Okay.
So they can be able to participate.
So what do we have there?
Okay, my last point I talk about when I was introducing will be about motivation this morning, because Liberians, most of them are downhearted. If you talk to Liberians in the street, you notice that most of them, like when we're doing the citizen voices, they will tell you, I don't want to vote. I'm not even going out there that day. I did not even register. That's how down they are. So I just want us to use the last segment to motivate our people about the importance of participating in politics and how we can support female ahead of this election, making sure that female Jana. So that's it. That's just what I feel like that we should talk about this morning, because for mother is very good at motivating people. So I thought we should do that.
Samira, let me hear you. Yeah.
So Samira, we'll start from Samira because she know how to lay the basic.
Okay, so about what you said, people in the streets saying that they are not going to vote. What I can say out there is that we can be the ones to determine what we want for Liberia. These people who are in power, at the end of the day, if their term is collapsing, they come down to us to ask us for our votes. So we can be the ones to decide what we want for Liberia. Because we are the people. Any official that you see up there in their seat, we are the ones that put them there. So if they are not meeting what we want, we should be able to take them from there. And that, as for those who they will be able to vote based on, if you give me money, I vote for you. You cannot sell your vote for little or nothing.
Of course.
Because what if this person gave you $20 United States dollars? At the end of the day, they go up there. Do you know how many money they are going to take from that seat and they bought your vote for just $20? So I'm encouraging people for them to vote. Look at these candidates. Look at the one who you see that. Look at their platforms. Look at what they are saying for Liberia. Some of these people say they think they can be saying something when they get there, they can't read to it. That we're not the things say about looking at the platform. So I'm not talking about platform business. Because these people that will get promises at the end of the day, they reach in the seat, everything just change. You can't see anything. They will just do small things for Liberia and they be basing on that. So voting is just about who you trust that can handle Liberia. So Liberians will need to vote. People will say, I know some people register. I know too many people that register, but they are saying that they are not going to wake up early morning or go stand in line for the benefit of other people. It's what they are saying. I encourage you that you be able to vote. If you want president, where you be able to vote in there. If you don't want president, where you're able to use your... It's the only time you have power in this country. Our vote is our power. So you'll be able to use that power, exercise that right, and be able to put... If you want Joseph Imabwaka there because you feel that he'll be able to govern the country right, he's corruption-free, you use your vote, use your power, and be able to put him there. If you want Tiawan Gongolo or the brewmaster, like he said, they are about to sweep. If you want him to sweep, then you put him there for him to be able to sweep like Liberia. But we shouldn't say that we are not getting early morning to go in the street for another man's benefit. No, it's for our country's benefit, because your one vote can be able to change the whole process. Your one vote. What if Grace is contesting now? Grace and I will have 59%. And you are lying down there, your one vote, if you happen to vote for Grace, it can make her president. If you happen to vote for me, it can make me president. So your one vote matter. It's the Liberian people right, they give it to citizens, it's your right to vote. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Samira. You see, I like the way you put it. It is your right. And quote unquote, I was speaking like old man this morning. The only gift that we're giving to you free of charge is your right. That no one can take from you unless you sell it. I'm talking to you out there this morning that feel this is the end. That you have given up on politics. That you are tired with Liberia. Anything you put your hand in is not working. You are not working. Your school, you deterred. You can't graduate. You're feeling frustrated. You want to make ends meet for your family. Your age is approaching. Your age will soon leave the calendar. You cannot give birth. You cannot have family because you are not working. You are depressed. Thinking about how Liberia will get better for you to move to another level. And the only way you can do that is to exercise your right at the battle box. If you don't exercise your right, you don't stand up for what you believe, you don't protect this country, nobody will do it for you. The power and authority you have limits you if you stay back. The only force you get, the only vengeance you have, the only protest you have, the only thing that can set your feet on fire is Mama Liberia. So as a patriotic citizen you are, the only respect you get is going to the battle box that day, casting your vote for that person that you know mean well for this country. Like Famata said, all of them will come with sweet mouth. They will have platforms that were edited, written, some are copied and paste. We have references to our well-being, our health. They will list all the sweet things, not even thinking in their mind what those things mean, because they were not the one that wrote them. They did not even draft them. Somebody did it for them. Somebody edited and posted on their page for them. Their platform were all edited by someone else. We're talking about someone that when he speak or when she speak, the Liberian people interest comes first. Someone that don't have class, they don't have system, they don't have level. They are there for every Liberian, no matter your traps, your ethnicity, your religion, your sex. They represent you at the fullest. I'm talking to you. I'm talking about someone that believe in women inclusion, believe in our mothers that they can make it. They have been making it. They educated us to where we are today. This is the president that we should elect come October 10, 2023. We shouldn't stay back and say, okay, because my representative failed me, my senator failed me, my past president failed me, so I will not go to the pool. Make this election a one-round thing, and let's save Liberia for no hungry talks that want to destroy our country. God bless you. God bless Liberia. That's my take this morning, Famata.
And I want to come from the point where I want to use this medium, though I am not the president, I'm not vying for any representative or senatorial seat in any districts in Liberia, and I'm not even thinking of doing that. I just want to use this medium and time to say sorry to all of us Liberians who have gone to the polls years in, years out, expecting a better change. But of all of those we've elected over the years, it just turned out to be something that gets us frustrated, down, and nothing good seemed to be coming out of those we might have stood in the rain or the sun to vote for, or some of those who we might have preached their messages, and today we see that they are not even living up to it. I want to say sorry to us. Sorry. And let us not allow the disappointment from these persons we may have trusted to change things around, and we are not seeing them happening today. Let us not be disappointed to the fact that we will want to come to the conclusion to not to get involved with the voting process come October 10, 2023. Count what may, let us go out there. The power lies with us and not with those who we are going to elect. Let us see the need to prioritize our franchise and go to the poll October 10 to have that president that God wants, that we want, so that we can have a better Liberia, not rapidly, not speedily, but gradually, because development takes time. It will not happen just within the twinkle of an eye or the blink of an eye. No, it won't happen. This is something that will be done gradually until we get to where we want to see it to be. Change does not take place in one day time. A Rome can never be built in one day time, but those persons we feel will do it little by little until we get there. Let's see the need to go to the polls and have them elected. Having said that, or having listened to all of us this morning, we would now like to open the lines to hear from you as it relates to what we discuss, so that we have your input. Call us on 0770-907-907, 0880-907-907 are the numbers that get you connected on this platform, so that we hear from you as it relates to what you want to talk about on the show today. If you also want to join us to call on Liberians to form part of the process, especially those who, based on what has been done, they don't want to participate any longer. Maybe you could call to motivate someone, to encourage someone this morning, or you could call to weigh in on what did we talk about first? We talk about the Unity Party and that of the ambassador answering to all of the allegations in the country about him currently. If you want to comment about that, call us on 0770-907-907, 0880-907-907. Let's have this person. Good morning.
Morning.
Grace, go ahead.
Your name and where you calling from?
I'm Mobile today from Loking Bushra area.
Go ahead,
Okay.
Mother. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me first of all thank you for in studio.
Lower your radio, please. Yeah, lower small. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm all right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, listening to you this morning on the platform, that would be friends. You know, you.
You breaking in or just change your location and call back, please. Call us on 0770-907-907 or 0880-907-907. Call us or drop your comments on Facebook via Voice of Liberia page. And this morning, let us dive into our discussion. We are analyzing Assembly quest to that of Honorable Joe Boycott, saying that he 100% believe everything him and Costa said until Ambassador Boycott can respond. We have a call on the line.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, your name and where you calling from?
So I'm Rupert Louis. I'm calling from Toronto.
Go ahead.
So my take point is that we let people to represent all, and we we let our representative, but sometimes the people we choose are not the rightful people to do things that is right. You see, Joseph Human Boycott is that they're taking time to answer to question because it's not every time things that happen you need to be focused on it. So what you need to do, you need to take your time, and that's what I'm seeing that woman is doing.
Okay.
It's not just answering to all of them. Because if you do that, if you see him taking his vice president from outside, it is because he do not want to agree with what he's saying there.
Okay.
And today they will come and say different thing, tomorrow they say different thing, so we bring another discussion to him and then he wants to make a rightful decision.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Let's have this next person. Good morning. Good morning, you are live. Good morning, are you there? Okay. Good morning.
Well, good morning, my dear sister. How are you? This is People's Governor Damso is a member of the Response and Tiala Propo Defender calling from Oro.
Okay.
Number 10.
Go ahead.
Let me say kudos to you guys this morning for taking up your time, your topic on our discussion. We told people down without number. The people, when they came together, needed we said it. Now, thank God the book implemented is the one in the book we now see the two writing now things forever. About never the time he's supposed to take to focus on his history number 10. We some of all women voted for him, some of all as community leader. Well, support the ruling party, the men now suffer for law. They carry him. We carry the men now, the men turn around and find causing our mind sister in the district. The time he's supposed to focus on the district. Is your life looking there? When you look at your friend mate, your lead in the community, you prioritize that person more than yourself. You continue to push for that man everywhere you behind the person, defending the person, causing for the person, then forget about you're supposed to maintain yourself as a gentleman. At the end of the day, that the bad blood you can get, that what happened to our Lord, because they did not screen to some of all we knew when the man started the causes for our community, former community leader that supported people in jail. Slow down. There's a need for you to slow down. If people you kill yourself, what time will come? They will betray the struggle. People will betray the struggle with Costa. They betray the struggle with many people today. But they can't do it. So if I get how to go on, we will say.
Okay, thank you. Before you say something else here. Good morning. What's happening with this Lone Star line? 07709079070 0880907907. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, I'm Mobile Cesar from Lokita.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, pertaining meaning your question where you are, why Joe Parker don't want to answer us. He's answerable to us. Yes, Joe Parker, people of the country, but Joe Parker is not answerable to those challenge. People who see that today them, for every disagreement they see this in charge, and they will continue to face up. So sometimes we don't want to speak to those things, but I just baffles or Joe Parker he's not willing to compromise the interests of the bad traders, this ordinary suffering adherents. This is why you will always see those belly drivers that will come around. They will see this exam. They will always go. So this is where it's technical from. Like to relate to what you're saying about what a giving message. Costa talk about what a giving message. Listen to that recording. If it's Joe Parker who went to look for financial partner, Pastor say yes, financial partner. So you went to call it. You could be or come to compromise the interest of the people in your own way when the party disagree.
Okay.
Because they may tell you that you are not red yet, you are not a red banana, you stay green.
Okay.
Keep telling you as a running mate, and you see them in town. So these are all four positions.
Thank you. Thank you. 07709079070 are the numbers that get you connected on the program. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Joe Parker. I'm phoning in from the borough of Nikutan.
Okay.
Yes, as it relates to those topics under discussion, for me, I told people a long time, the Omen Joe Bwaka is a complete traitor. Yes. If you look at Sata, for 12 years, he shared with President Sali. He knew that those opportunities were being squandered. And you sat there, you never said anything. You agree, you all squandered the process. You will not tell me for the 12 years you served as vice president to President Sali, you did not recommend people. And those people you recommended were all injured. They were perfect. That this opportunity that is squandered, it was only President Sali's appointee. Yet the people you draw on board, they all helped to squander the process. At the end of the day, you want to shift all of the blame on President Sali. People coming out to talk about honesty. You said your office, you were back for 12 years, meaning not functions. But yet, your office received her annual fiscal budget. What were you doing with that money? Talk about the corruption fee. You talk about, look at the process. You and people went into political marriage for almost 5-6 years. At the end of the day, everybody go into a process to benefit. That we share, like you girls said, that politics is interest. Do you think that Costa, Yure, Yombi, they supported Bwaka only because they wanted Bwaka to be president and they don't want to benefit anything? Of course you don't know. But at the end of the day, he betrayed them. At the end of the day, for me, I can tell anybody, the United Party right now, you hear me, then they are speechless. Because right after Costa conference, the party chairman came out and said it was all lies. And it was confirmed by Joe Bwaka's son that yes, indeed, they went to meet him in Ghana. It kept them speechless. And Bwaka will not come out right there because you know Costa. Costa, that one person, everything he does, he has record. If Joe Bwaka come out to say no, he will pull out the record. He will bring out the facts. He will bring out the facts.
Thank you.
And lastly, before I go, we were crying on President Sali that yes, this regime, he has Robert Sali. Right now, everything about Joseph Bwaka is his son. He's his junior boy. When he takes power, God forbid, we will cry more than President Sali regime. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for having your say. Let's have this next person. Good morning.
Good morning.
You are live.
Yeah, my name is Boma William. And I joined you this time for my cabinet shop this morning to be precise in the street, 13 to go village.
Okay.
Let me say thank you for your next topics on our discussion. You see, the issue of Mr. Ure and Dala Costa and Dala Joe Bwaka. You see, for me, I knew that this old man had no leadership ability. When the old man told us that he was heading the Senate and he was under there, he was a racing car parking. He never had voice. That's one dishonesty.
Okay.
The next one was the issue of the CPP. The CPP was first headed by Bernard Ure. Second by Oyobli Kanga. Third by Mr. Kumes. And then he, the last person, under his watchful eyes, the CPP got destroyed and there. And what really bad for me, this old man, at that time he was heading the CPP. All the Norths were in the United Party, in the Liberty Party, and that or ANC, carry ALP, the person to quote. One day, he never had press conference to say, oh, gentlemen, we are in a marriage. And I'm the father of this marriage. You all come together as children. Let's see how best to settle it before it even go out in the public. He never did it because he was only wanted to use Mr. Ure against Alexander B. Kume to accomplish his mission.
Okay. And
now, Mr. Ure, they were thinking, say, what all they were doing, they were going to be successful, from the old man. But now, they were there, throwing the right hand in your hand at the end, you're going to stab them at the back.
Okay.
But today, they have realized that they have been stabbed at the back. And you see, for me, I can tell people, I will highly welcome Mr. Ure and Dala Costa by the citizen because sometimes you got to be closer to somebody before you know that person's attitude. And I think they have knowing Mr. Joe, let the old man Joe Bwaka attitude, and they have do the evaluation between him and President Weah.
Okay.
They are seeing the working of President Weah, and then the attitude of Obejo. That's the reason why they're trying to come back. And for me, I will highly appreciate it because even if today, when you say today, I suppose your party will be happy.
Thank you very much.
Any party they support today, they will be happy.
Thank you. Thank you ever so much for having your say on this platform. Time is fast spent. I think we can have our parting comments and call it a day on the show this morning.
Thank you very much.
Samira, let's start with you.
Okay, so all I can say is that let's be wise comes October 10, 2023 elections. Yeah, let's all vote who we want for Liberia because it's our right to vote. It's the power we have. So that's it for my end.
Okay.
Thank you very much. My name is Grace Williams Joshua once more, and all I can say is shalom, peace. Thank you.
Okay, and this is from Duncan. We want to say thanks for listening. Join us tomorrow. Same time, at which time we will be here to offer you breakfast again on the Voice of Liberia 104.1. This is how we like to leave you today on the program to be back here with another edition of the program on tomorrow morning. It's been wonderful serving you breakfast, where this morning we had the councillor here with us, and afterwards we were able to discuss all the issues pertaining to Liberia. Have a wonderful day, as we will be back here this afternoon to bring you further presentation of other programs.